All right, good morning. We'll go ahead and get started. So we'll start by adopting a stable, comfortable, upright position. So we think about keeping our feet flat and our back straight, torso open, hands in the lap right over left with the palms upturned and the thumbs gently touching. Our eyes are gently closed or slightly open, making sure we let in enough light to remain alert. We try to avoid slouching or leaning. We also let go of any unnecessary tension in the body, relaxing into a stable, comfortable, upright position. And we begin to pull back our awareness, letting go of the outside, allowing sights and sounds to be as they are without investigation, constraining our awareness just of the body and mind. Concentrating that awareness in the present by attending closely to the physical sensation of the air moving into and back out of the tip of the nostrils. Noticing quickly when anything other than that one physical sensation is arising in the mind, and without judgment or frustration, lifting our awareness up from that distraction and placing it gently but firmly again and again on the breath. And then when the mind feels more calm, generate a broad and altruistic motivation for your time. Wanting to use this time to establish and deepen beneficial ways of thinking and acting. Ways that allow oneself to remain connected to a sense of peace and ease, and that tend to motivate actions that are of benefit to others. Wanting to reduce and ultimately eliminate the ways of thinking and acting that are not constructive, that disturb and agitate one's own mind, and often give rise to actions that cause harm to others. Thinking that transforming the mind in this way is the best way to be of benefit to sentient beings. And with that motivation, we will finish contemplating the 8 verses of thought transformation, combining it with that connection to Avalokiteshvara. So begin by, again, re-establishing the visualization of Avalokiteshvara above the crown of one's head. So, thinking about the size of the palm of one's hand, a couple of inches above the crown of the head. Is Avalokiteshvara, the Buddha of compassion. He has 4 arms. The first 2 are together at his heart and hold a precious, wish-fulfilling gem. His second right hand holds a crystal rosary, and the second left hand a white lotus. He's seated in the full Vajra position on an open lotus and moon disk. He's adorned with exquisite silks and jeweled ornaments. An antelope skin covers his left shoulder. And the entire visualization is of radiant light. So the 7th verse is, in short, I will offer directly and indirectly every benefit and happiness to all beings, my mothers. I will practice in secret taking upon myself all their harmful actions and sufferings. In short, I will offer directly and indirectly every benefit and happiness to all beings, my mothers. I will practice in secret, taking upon myself all their harmful actions and sufferings. So here we get at the heart of the mind training teachings, the heart of the Bodhisattva path. Which is to exchange our normal, habitual, self-cherishing mind for a mind that cherishes others. Ordinarily, we try to make every experience work out, mainly just for oneself. Even if there's some inconvenience, difficulty to others. But the Bodhisattva would reverse that, to aspire to give away happiness and to accept problems, like a mother for her only child. So think back on the last week or two. Think of the motivation that you've established in the morning or on the way to work. And throughout your days. Are you able to consistently try to work for the benefit of others and wish for their welfare? Try to imagine a couple scenarios where you became stressed, overwhelmed, and started to go inward and close off to others. And imagine trying to remember this instruction in those situations. How might that expand the mind and the heart? Then visualize that light rays and nectars descend from the heart of Avalokiteshvara, entering the crown of your head and completely filling your body and mind with the wisdom nectar that purifies, that self-cherishing, the thought that prevents you from wanting and being able to take on the suffering of others and give them only happiness. And brings the realization of bodhicitta. And then the next verse. Through perceiving all phenomena as illusory, I will keep these practices undefiled by the stains of the 8 worldly concerns, and free from clinging, I will release all beings from the bondage of the disturbing, unsubdued mind and karma. Through perceiving all phenomena as illusory, I will keep these practices undefiled by the stains of the 8 worldly concerns, and free from clinging, I will release all beings from the bondage of the disturbing, unsubdued mind and karma. So here we are talking about the things that can pollute our practice. Being overly attached to sensory pleasure, to being praised, to gaining wealth or material possessions, to being thought of positively by our social circles, and being adverse to discomfort, to criticism, to loss, or to having a poor reputation. When the mind observes these states, some of them seem as though they were constructed out of happiness, and some seem constructed out of suffering. We think there's no choice but to suffer if we become poor, or we face criticism, or things become difficult, and we think necessarily, I will be happy if I have money and fame and status. But is it true that these things are only beneficial or only painful? Or does that come from the mind? Try to investigate in your own experience. Times when the mind achieves a measure of status or wealth or comfort, and yet problems persist. In times when things were taken away, and yet the mind could remain more balanced. And by contemplating in that way, we can demonstrate that these objects are not constructed out of happiness or suffering. That sense of solidity in our perception is like an illusion. And recognizing that frees us up to not cling to chasing what seems desirable and not being fragile in contacting what seems unpleasant. And that freedom allows us to accomplish our spiritual goals. Achieve full enlightenment and bring all other beings to that state. So try to imagine accomplishing that freedom from clinging and using it, using that time, that energy to accomplish your spiritual goals. And visualize that the light rays and nectars pour forth from Avalokiteshvara's heart, and the wisdom nectar purifies the thought of self-cherishing that prevents oneself from recognizing the illusory nature of all things and brings the realization of the nature of reality, freeing me from the bondage of the unsubdued mind and karma. And then when you're ready, we'll come back together. And we'll dedicate this particular practice has a dedication, so we'll use that. May all the suffering and causes of suffering of all sentient beings ripen on me now, and may all sentient beings receive all my happiness and virtue. May the supreme jewel, bodhicitta, that has not arisen, arise and grow. May that which has arisen not diminish, but increase more and more. May I never be discouraged even for a moment from practicing the deeds of the bodhisattvas for the sake of others. By completely renouncing anything done for my own sake, and by engaging in the holy actions of the kind founder, Shakyamuni Buddha. Through these merits may I quickly attain the state of the great compassionate one, Avalokiteshvara, and without exception lead all mother sentient beings who are most high and noble to that enlightened state. Thank you.